everyone, and welcome back. I am very excited about today's video as we will be sharing 19 things that you could declutter today. Many of these items just aren't serving us anymore and could just do better somewhere else. If you don't know where to start in your decluttering journey, this is a great place to start and you can experience the benefits immediately. Number one would be old receipts. So things from takeout, from grocery store, or anything like that. I feel like it just takes up a lot of space in your mind every time you see it. And so this can be a great thing just to toss, especially if it is past the date of returning. Even if you needed to return something, if you have it electronically, you can do it that way. Two would be dried up pens. So like going to write something and it's like just not coming out, and annoyed because you can't like actually write something down. Toss those pens. Same for dried up markers. Three would be broken toys. So especially if you have like kids or animals that have toys and it's broken or something, and more than likely they probably already have other toys that can be a replacement for that toy. Four is expired food. So anything in your fridge or pantry that is just like outdated, it's time to just toss it. Some things, if it's like a week past, it's usually still good. But if things are dated to like 2022 and it's 2024, it's probably not good anymore. Number five is cooking utensils that are not serving you. So I did a video of things that I don't own as a minimalist, and one of the items was a spaghetti spatula. So for example, I use tongs for just about anything, and the spaghetti spatula was not serving me in any great way, so I got rid of that one. If you have like a whisk that you don't normally use, or even like an extra pair of scissors in your drawer, or like 3,000 spoons that you could use for soup, like if it's not serving you, if you can't use them all at one time, especially if you don't like it, unused utensils are a great thing to declutter. Six is magazines. So I'm not really sure if this is even a thing that people like to read magazines anymore. Maybe it's your thing. I find that like everything is on the internet these days. Paper books or magazines aren't really your thing, go ahead and get rid of all of those. I'm pretty sure you probably have some hiding somewhere in your house. Number seven is unmatching socks. So how annoying is it when like the morning comes, you're scrambling to get dressed, and then you just can't find a match for your socks. So go ahead and gather all of your socks and pair up the ones that do have pairs, and then get rid of all the others that just don't have a match, because it's kind of pointless unless you like to wear mismatched socks. Number eight is old prescription bottles or like outdated medicine bottles. So like, when you went to the doctor and you received like a prescription and you only took like 2 of them, and then you didn't use anymore, and now it's been 2 years and it's still sitting in your cabinet, go ahead and toss that out. It's not good anymore. You probably don't need it. You probably don't want it. And it's just taking up space. So you can get rid of those, all of your outdated medicines as well. Just go ahead and toss those. Some of them don't actually last a long time, especially the liquid ones. If you have opened it and used it once for a cough, and then it's been like a few months, it's probably outdated. I would go ahead and check the best by date and get rid of them accordingly. Number nine is plastic bags. I personally do not like plastic bags. I think they are like bad for the earth and all these things. But if you have a recycling service, this would be great to just recycle them, and then you don't actually need to throw them away. And maybe next time when you are going to the grocery store, opt for paper bags, or better yet, take your own bags, like your own reusable bags, to the store, and then you won't have to worry about plastic bags. Number 10 is sheets with holes in them. So like very worn out sheets that you don't use anymore and that you don't like anymore. You can always like repurpose them for something if you are handy like that. But if not, go ahead and pass those on, because it's likely not serving you anymore and it's just taking up space in your house and in your mind. 11 would be throw pillows that are not serving you and that don't bring you joy. So sometimes you might have like some throw pillows on the couch that you actually love and use and need, and that's perfectly fine. You might have a few extra on your bed, and that's great. But if you have like a bunch like just kind of scattered in rooms and like, okay, maybe I'll get to it someday, or maybe I'll need it then, or whatever, maybe might never come. So it's better just to free your space of those extra things. And if it doesn't bring you joy, if you do not like looking at it, and if it's not even useful and it's just sitting there for no reason and it's not actually there for support or whatever you would use a throw pillow for, you can go ahead and get rid of those as well. 12 is empty jars that you saved for just because. So like the spaghetti jars that you use the spaghetti sauce, and then you were like, okay, this is a glass jar, this is awesome, I'm gonna keep this because I want to use it for something. And then you have a whole cabinet full of jars that you're not using and you might never use. Now you might, and that's fair, but for the most part, if you are trying to free up your space and you've got so much and you can't manage everything, and you're not in a season of planting flowers in your vases or recanning or whatever, then just go ahead and pass them on. And you can, you will always need another spaghetti sauce or jar of some sort. And so you could always like acquire them later down the road. But if you have them stored up now and you just want to free your mind and free your space, this is a great way to do that. 13 is multiple cake pans, unless you are a baker. If you're like me and you just bake a cake every once in a while and you only do one cake at a time, then you don't really need more than one cake pan. And yeah, you can use your cake pan for different meals and such and dinners, but when are you going to use 2 cake pans at a time? And again, unless you are hosting large groups of people, like that's fine. Just see what would work for you and go accordingly. These are just some ideas that if it's sitting around, you're not using it, it's not serving you, these are some great ideas of things that you could get rid of, pass on, donate, sell, get rid of, and it can free up your space and free up your mind and help you to just be happier and less stressed, honestly, at the end of the day, because you have less to manage and less to clean up. 14 is everything in your junk drawer. Literally, it's all junk. It's little half things, broken crayons, all of the little knickknacks and everything that just gets gathered there and thrown there. It's because it's for junk. It should honestly just be the trash can, but you think you might need it later, and then you just keep piling more things in and you don't actually need anything that's in there. So why don't you go ahead and just take the entire junk drawer. Look through it and see if there's anything important, but then just take the whole junk drawer and dump it out. You probably will be happier and less stressed because you know that junk drawer is always hanging over your head. I gotta clean out my junk drawer. I gotta clean it out. Gotta go through it. Well, it's junk. You can get rid of it. I give you permission to get rid of everything in your junk drawer. 15 would be old seasonings. So this also goes along with expired food. But if you have old seasonings, they're probably not going to taste as good or as flavorful. It can free up your space as well, and you can see the seasonings that you have a lot easier. All right, 16 is multiple coffee mugs. This is easy for me because I'm not huge on coffee, but some people are really big on coffee. That's great. I love it for you. When I was pregnant, actually, I was really into coffee. Like, I wanted it all the time. But we only had one coffee mug, and that worked just fine for us. In fact, that coffee mug broke, and so we no longer have a coffee mug. But since my taste buds have changed, I'm not really into coffee anymore. And we have realized that, oh wow, we don't really drink that much coffee because we haven't even needed a coffee mug for 4 months. So calculate how many people are in your house that drink coffee at one given time and keep that amount of coffee mugs. If there are 4 people in your house that like to drink coffee at the same time, keep 4 coffee mugs. If it's just one person, then just keep your 1 coffee mug. I'll let you keep 2 if you really want to, and if you don't wash dishes that often. But Coffee gets really gross just sitting there all day. So, I mean, it'll be easier just to wash out right as you are done with it, and then you can use it for the next time. But to have like a whole cabinet full of coffee mugs, it could be very overwhelming. But again, that's just me. You judge yourself and see how far you want to take that. Okay, 17 is extra reusable bags. So like I said about going to the grocery store with your own reusable bags, this is a great option for helping to save the earth and not use up so many extra plastic bags, even paper bags if you don't have a recycling service. You know how many grocery bags you would normally need on a given grocery shopping day. So if you needed 6 or 7 grocery bags, then keep that many, but don't keep an entire, like, you know, tons of like reusable bags. The main focus here is just to kind of have less inventory in your house so that you have less to manage, so that your days are less stressful and you don't have as much to do at the end of the day, and you can just enjoy your days and enjoy your life, because life is short and we want to take advantage of every day that we have. 18 is old underwear. I don't think I really need to go into much explanation about this, but if you have old undergarments, go ahead and toss those out with the old, in with the new. And finally, unused picture frames. I did this experiment because we are in the process of moving out, and so I took everything off of the walls, all of the picture frames, and stored them away in a box. Can I be honest? I have completely forgotten about them. I don't even remember what picture frames we had or what pictures we had hanging up, because it's this amazing idea of out of sight, out of mind. And when you just can get it all away, packed away somewhere, and you don't see it anymore, then you're like, wow, this is amazing. I don't even know what it was. Which brings me to my concluding thoughts, and that is this. If you are struggling to declutter some of these things or anything in general, a great thing that you could do is take those items that you're not really sure about and put it away in a box somewhere that you cannot see it. Put it in another room that you don't normally go in. Give it 24 hours up to a few weeks and see if you remember it and see if you miss it. And if you go back to it and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I had that, or oh, that, I don't even miss that. Go ahead and pass those on, because you're not really stressed about, oh, I gotta get rid of this right now and I don't really know. But if you can just set it aside, you can come back to it, and then you for sure will know, yeah, I didn't miss this, let's get rid of this. And that can be a great tool on helping you in your declutter journey. So I hope this helped and spiked some inspiration on certain things to declutter in your home. Let me know what you have decluttered from this list. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.